Hello friends, and welcome to Gardening with Creekside. Y'all, we are officially saying goodbye to the summer annuals and hello to the fall annuals here up at the chicken coop. You just saw me pull out all of those summer annuals that I have planted in front of the chicken coop. It is a beautiful display. They did great. I thoroughly enjoyed them. It is mid-October. It is time to say goodbye. They are all annuals. They will not survive the winter. They will not come back for me. So we pulled them out and we are going to plant a glorious display of fall, winter, early spring annuals here up at the chicken coop. I've got Sweet Thing here with me, helping me put out some fresh soil. So let's just kind of go through and talk about the whole process, because if you have followed us for any length of time, you know that I fully embrace the fall and winter as a season kind of rest in the garden. I don't do, it looks amazing. Thank you so much. You can go back to digging ditches. We may come up and say hello. Yeah, he's on the excavator doing some construction up at production. So we may go see him in a little bit. So thank you, Sugar. Yep. Okay. So I do embrace fall and winter as a season of rest for me. I do not do a lot of fall annuals just because honestly, I will look out and maybe they're languishing or maybe they need some attention, and it causes me stress because I know I need to go out there and fertilize them or weed them, or I don't know, whatever it may be. And I just want to embrace fall and winter as rest. Not meaning that we don't do projects, it's just a season of rest for gardening. There are some areas though that I will always do with annuals, and this is one of those spots. It is up obviously right here in front of the chicken coop. The coop, of course, is on a hill, and you can see that we have quite the hill here. And then, of course, in the wintertime, a lot of this stuff is deciduous. Our hydrangeas are deciduous. Obviously, our hollies are going to be nice and evergreen. But you can see that the house is right there, and the window, the small little window right there, that's the window above our kitchen sink. I think a lot of us spend a lot of time at our kitchen sink, and so when I look out, I can actually see this flower bed in the wintertime. So it brings me joy to see these bright, sweet flowers up here. I do always use the front of the chicken coop as an annual planting. And y'all, I cannot stress this enough to you. We have learned this by doing it, so I am from one gardener to another gardener. If you have those spaces in your garden that are always annual beds, right? No matter what the size may be, whether it's a little tiny pocket by your sidewalk or if it's a big area. If it's an annual area, y'all, amend, 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 amend. Every time you pull plants out and you get ready to put new plants in, add some compost. Add some great, really rich, organically soil compost, mushroom compost, aged cow manure, pine bark fines, whatever it is that is going to give you lots of organic material, because so many of the annuals are heavy feeders. And when you're adding and you're amending to the soil, it means less work on you in the end. I rarely, if ever, I may have water soluble fertilized those summer annuals, maybe at the absolute most twice, and they perform great. So what we added this time, we're trying out, it's not new to us, but we're kind of coming back to it. We are using the black gold. Black gold, of course, is made by Sungrow. Sungrow we use a lot of their professional mixes for the production side of the nursery. This is their natural and organic ultra outdoor planting mix. And truly, you can use this for a ton of stuff, right? It is OMRI listed, certified, organic. Not that that's so much of a big deal for me here, because I'm not eating the annuals. It's not a vegetable planting. It is near the girls, of course, but you can use this for vegetable gardening. If you have fruit trees or fruit bushes, blueberries and blackberries, whatever. This is great to use. You can use it straight as a planting mix, or you can do it like what we're doing and using it as amendment. So this is what it looks like. So we've not done anything to it. You saw Jerry was raking it out. It's got some aged pine bark fines in there. It's got compost. Like, it is a beautiful, nice, dark, rich. It's not blonde. If you see blonde compost, that is a sign. Like with blonde wood in it, it means it's not aged, and that's going to cause you some problems. But this whole little area right here, so all in front of the chicken coop, and then just around the corner is where we do our annual planting. I am leaving for right now the portulaca basket that has the mangave in there. She's still doing good. We're not, even though this morning was like in the mid 30s and tonight's gonna be like in the mid 30s, this can handle it. So we're just gonna leave it for a while because she still looks great. It's portulaca and the mangave. I rarely have to water it, so she's gonna stay for a little while longer. Now, let's talk about the fun fall, winter annuals that we're going to put in here. This is where I have some fun. So I put all my energy and all my creativity in this one spot, and then the rest of the yard, I'm like, okay, you're done. I'll see you in the spring. So we have a whole assortment of things right here. I kind of have an idea of how we're gonna lay this out, but then I kind of don't. So here we go, in no particular order. We have Ms. America mustard. This is a mustard that, yes, you can absolutely eat. So if it's up against the chicken coop and the chickens go ahead and peck some through the wire, not a problem. This will stay this beautiful, rich, deep purple color and get nice and big. It will be evergreen throughout the winter because it is a cold weather crop, like your kales, your spinaches, right? Those all love the cool weather. Ms. America mustard gives me beautiful height, leaf structure, and color. So Ms. America mustard. Then we have, of course, some good old Dusty Miller. I did water everything, so it's not, there may be some things that are kind of smushed down. But the Dusty Miller, of course, is going to be more in that beautiful silver color, right? So you can see where the water didn't quite hit it. Nice silver. It's going to be a little bit lower. This particular variety is called New Look. New Look Dusty Miller. Of course, all this is going to be for full sun because this flower bed is full sun. This will be 10 inches tall. So it's going to be, you know, a mid-size, right? And then we're going to do some snapdragons. I've never really done snapdragons before. Cece, our garden center manager, loves snapdragons. And so I thought this would be a fun one to try in. This is the Speedy Sonnet Bronze. So, of course, your snapdragons are sun to part shade. This is going to be about 18 inches tall. We had pinched it back, so it's not blooming right now. We've got some buds on it, so there's buds all over the place. So there you go, snapdragons. Then I'm going to do a mixture of violas and pansies. So all pansies are violas, and this is a beautiful blue. This particular one is Matrix True Blue, so it has a nice, beautiful blue purple flower with that yellow throat. So all pansies are violas. However, all violas are not pansies. So a difference between a pansy and a viola is, one, their bloom size. So pansies will have bigger flower heads than a viola, right? Violas will have more flowers per plant. Pansies have less flowers per plant, but they're bigger. Violas tend to be better bloomers in the really cold months of the year. So January, February. You'll notice sometimes your pansies will stop blooming when it gets super cold. Your violas do better in that bloom period. And then, of course, once it warms up a little bit, then your pansies come back. And so I thought it'd be really fun to mix that True Blue with the Lemon Splash. They will be really nice together. I get that really pretty, nice soft blue and yellow. Also, this color palette will complement the tulips that are going to be in the terrace garden. So all of that will kind of go together. And then, of course, we've got some gorgeous white cabbages. The cabbages more than likely will peter out by like December, right? So they're not, for me, they tend not to go through the whole entire season. And that's okay. For now, they'll be pretty. Your kales and your cabbages, they tend to get the inside really pretty color when your nights get consistently cool. So right now they just look green. I need to have more cool temperatures and then they will turn white. So I've got 4 nice big ones of those. And then last but certainly not least is my Ascot Rainbow. I adore this plant, y'all. It is a perennial. It will stay evergreen. It gives me this beautiful upright chartreuse color on it. It's literally one of my favorite perennials ever. It is listed for full sun, and it is a spurge. So Ascot Rainbow, full sun, gorgeous upright habit, like I said, very soft, great variegation on the nice like chartreuse on the outside, dark green on the inside. And this will ultimately, its hardy in zones at 6 to 9. Mature height is 20 inches, and it will get kind of, nice and wide as well. It does bloom, however, you don't really get it for the bloom. You get it for this beautiful foliage. So I have got 4 of those. Now, with my Ascot Rainbow, when it comes springtime, what I will do is take them out of this bed. I probably won't leave them there. I will take them out and I will put them else in the garden. I have Ascot Rainbow all throughout my gardens because I just adore this plant. So those are the plants that are going to go in this space. We've already got the fresh, organic, nice, really rich soil that we're going to be planting in. And then of course, as you know me, another thing that you always want to do is use that Biotone Starter Plus fertilizer. Probably a year, 18 months ago, we started using it on our annuals as well. At first I was like, why am I going to waste Biotone on annuals? They're only in there for 1 season. Oh honey, let me tell you, this makes a massive difference in your annuals. They perform amazing when you use this Biotone starter. So what I do is I'll just take it and I just broadcast it. I'm not going to do individual holes. I'm just going to spread it all over the bed, and then I'm going to have some fun and figure out exactly where everybody's going to go. Since I've amended, I'm not really going to have to like dig per se for to put these in. Plus, because this is the chicken coop, we have a predator guard that goes all the way around it. Predator guard is simply chicken wire that is laid down, so it's connected up to the chicken coop, and then it comes out about 3 to 4 feet all the way around the coop. That way, wild dogs, raccoons, possums, whatever, foxes can't dig in and go underneath the coop. So it is a predator guard. Hence, this is why I never use my power plant or auger around the chicken coop, because I'll get caught up in chicken wire. We don't want to do that. So I just simply will, with my hand, is just pull back the soil, place them in, and then I might, depends on how everything looks, I have some land and sea, I might just go ahead and top dress. We're currently out of the Daddy Pete's, the soil enhancer, the aged pine bark fines, which is we love to use as mulch. So we're out of that, so I may use some land and sea, or I may not have to. Everything may look great, and I can just leave it how it is. But I'm going to have some fun getting these in the ground, and then I'll meet you back here when it's all said and done, and I'll show you how it all looks. All right, my friends, so this morning's project is complete. Man, it feels good. The before versus the after. I tell you what, the girls can finally see out of the coop and the run, but I tell you, I do love putting those big summer annuals in front of the chicken coop because it gives them shade. So in the summertime, they need as much help as they can get to survive that heat. The girls here in the North Carolina, they don't have to worry about their winter time. I worry about the heat of the summer with my chickens. So to give them some shade with those big summer annuals is great. But now that cooler temps are here, let them soak up that sunshine, get some nice breeze through there, and they can see out and we can see them. I want to go through and just kind of give you my thought process on how I laid this out. And y'all, it is not perfectly balanced. All of them are not, you know, perfect matchy-matchy, and that is the beauty of it. This is the chicken coop, y'all. Anything that we do here is an upgrade for a chicken coop, but design-wise, what I do is I start with my biggest plants, and my biggest plants in this case are going to be my ascot rainbows. So I had 4 of them, so I wanted them kind of in the center of the space. So on this end, it is in the center. The bed's a little off because of the rain barrel, but still that ascot rainbow is on that center post. And then going down, basically I kind of start what was the center of this whole section, and that is here in the middle, and then from there I cut that space in half and put the other ones. So I start with my biggest pieces, and then I went down to the cabbages. The cabbages are the widest ones, and I had 4 of those also. I chose not to put one on the side, but to put them here on the front. Brought them forward a little bit, and like I said earlier, the cabbages are probably going to be the one plant out of all of these that's not going to survive throughout the whole entire season. I will really know by December how they are doing. If they're starting to look sad and ratty, which I kind of suspect that they will be, guess what? My spring flowering bulbs arrive in December, and so I will take out the cabbages, feed them to the chickens, and then put some bulbs in that space. So it's not gonna, yeah, there's gonna be a little hole there for the winter time, but come spring, we're gonna have the flowering bulbs, whether that is tulips that I have, or snowdrops, or crocuses. Like I have a ton. I have 1 or 2 bulbs coming, so there could be a whole different selection of them that arrive that I could put in here. So that is the option on that. So then put the cabbages, and then next we went with the Ms. America mustard. Fill those in as well, just kind of evenly space them. Down here on the end, technically I should have had another mustard kind of where the chicken is, but y'all, I don't want to go back down to the garden center. So what I did is then when I was putting the snapdragons in, everywhere else the snapdragons are in pairs of 2. This one is on the corner is 3. So we're just going to kind of fill in this corner with the snapdragons, and then of course the chicken is there as well. I have chickens, I have 2 hens, and I have a rooster down the middle, and then on the other side I have a fox, and all of those are from Unique Stone. Just a fun little tongue-in-cheek here at the chicken coop, and I joke and I say the rooster and the fox are the only kinds of roosters and foxes that I want to have here at the chicken coop. My girls, it's a hen house here, and so the rooster and fox are just kind of fun right there. Snapdragons came in next, and then we just did the Artemisia, right? That silver bullet coming down here. I think it was New Look is the variety name. And then finally the pansies and violas. So when you're thinking about your design, whether it's shrubs or if it's annuals or perennials, basically start with your biggest and work your way down to the smallest. Historically, you put the biggest in the back, you put the smallest in the front. Now that can change depending on how you see the bed, the lay of the land. There are no real rules in gardening. You just there are guidelines. And so that would be a guideline for this. So I did not have to put any land and seed down. The Ultra Outdoor Planting Mix looks really nice. Of course, everybody got nice and watered in, so you can see that they are nice and happy. They are watered, and then the last little thing that I did add was I came through and I put the solar lighting from HoseLink. We have this lighting, gosh, not quite 2 years. And the great thing about these lights is, one, they work really well. It's a nice soft light. These are considered their pathway lights, and they light up, but they have a sensor on them. So when you walk by it or there's movement past it, they get brighter for like 15 seconds and then they dim down again. So it's a beautiful light. It's not too bright. It's not going to disturb the chickens. It's just a nice soft light. And I decided at first I was going to put it on the front side to like illuminate the path. And then I was like, no, let's put it in the back and illuminate the flowers. It'll still, you know, show out on the path. But I thought that would be really fun. And of course, since it's solar, there's no wires, like they're just stakes. So you can literally move them around wherever you want. We have had these in multiple places, but we have had them, it will be 2 years, it's been 18 months, I would say, that we've had them, and they have just done great. So we kind of had some fun with those and put those out there. If I can, I will try to remember to get out here tonight and take a little picture for you with the lights all lit up. But I am super excited with how everything looks. It's going to be fun. It's just a nice refresh. We have color. I was able to get my fix on the fall annuals. So I was able to use all the fun things that I go to the garden center and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could use that. Well, guess what? I just did. So I'm able to use it. I can enjoy this space. The only thing that I'm going to have to do is just watch the water for the next couple of weeks. We have not had any kind of rain since Helene, which was 3 weeks ago, and there's really no rain in the foreseeable future. When you have newly planted, whether it's a tree, shrub, annual, perennial, those first couple of weeks, you really kind of have to watch the water. And so I will come out here, I watered it really well. I will do that, I don't know, maybe every 2 to 3 days. The great thing about these plants is they'll tell me if they're dry. Like everything, the mustard, the violas, the pansies, all of that will tell me if it's dry. But really about every 2 to 3 days, I'll come out here and get it nice and watered, watch it for the first 2 or 3 weeks, like I said, and then after that, forget about it. If you notice that your pansies, violas, are not flowering as well, they start to turn a little yellow, then using that water-soluble fertilizer is perfect. I don't use slow-release fertilizer in my fall plantings because it is released by temperature. It's cooler, much cooler in the fall and the winter, so it just sits there and it doesn't release the fertilizer. So if you need to fertilize, go for, on your annuals, use your water-soluble fertilizer. Typically, I don't have to do that, especially when you're using that great organic matter that will naturally feed the plants. So my friends, I think we have covered everything. And yeah, I am super excited with how everything looks. It feels great to have this. Next step is I have not touched the gardens at all up here since Helene, and they are quite disastrous. I'm going to focus on this beautiful part right here, and we'll get to the other part probably early next week. So I've got to get in here and get some things cleaned up. We did go ahead and order a new cherry tree. So remember, we had a massive pine tree from our neighbor. It was back there and it fell and it took out all this. So we do have a cherry tree to replace this one. And yeah, so I've got a lot of cleanup to do up here. That will be for next week. Today, I'm going to enjoy this beauty. Y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends. All right, my friends, sorry about that. I forgot about my husband and the project we were going to do an update on. So we're going to do a quick little update here up at production. So tell us what's happening.
Yeah, well, I can't remember if I talked about this one time or not, but I guess you can see the shrub area over here.
Yep.
We're going to change this grade. So remember when we dug out over here for the pad for the new greenhouse?
Yes, that was
last year.
Last summer.
Yeah, so it was done this last summer. So you see all this slope. This where all the soil came out, you know, running itself back this way. So what we're going to do is try to get our land back, and there's a lot of water that comes. We can walk up there in a minute, but up this way, there's a lot of water that comes off the neighbor's property. So we're putting in a large catch basin to catch the water, and then it'll go run through this pipe. It's like over 400 feet going down. I got started running the excavator this morning and made it to maybe like right in here, and then I let Jackson take over. So we'll see if he can carry us all the way through.
Yeah, and that excavator starts to wear and tear on you, doesn't it?
Yeah, well, it was really hard right here.
So how deep are you going?
We're just taking
gosh.
it. Yeah, it's down there, just out of the way, and then we'll lay the pipe down in the trench. I was over here grading a few minutes ago with the T76, But we'll just kind of make sure we have fall. You know, it should be natural, pretty natural going out there, but we'll double check it before we fill it in.
Yep.
And just make sure we have good fall coming from all the way to the top, all the way out to the bottom.
Yep.
And that way the water's running really well. I think somewhere like where we're standing in here, in this section right here, we'll put holes in the pipe and we'll fill this entire section full of wash stone, and we'll run the wash stone from here all the way back up to the road. And then that way you'll have a little bit of we can make a little bit of a road through here. So any kind of water that were to, you know, overflow from the greenhouse gutters or come out from up there from the top, it can make its way down here to the bottom and drain into the pipe, and
like a little, make our own French drain.
Make it a French drain.
Yeah.
So you can look at the pipe, I guess.
Yeah. So just to recap real quick, so the idea is that to grade this back, because there's a lovely hump right here, it's a swell, so that the water would go, but to regrade this so that we can extend the shrub lot out further. So, because obviously you can't, it's really hard to set shrubs and plants on when you have such a unlevel area. So the idea is to extend this whole shrub lot back over, but without impeding any of the water flow, because heaven knows we don't want to impede water flow.
Yeah, this
that it's fixed,
like gives us the, you know, there's a lot of growers, you know, that live in the north, right?
Yep.
They can't do what we're getting ready to do. You know, so we're going to open up space out here that gives us growth without having to put up more greenhouse structure.
Right.
We'll use the structure to get us started. We'll get into March and we can start going outside with a lot of crops.
Even like annuals.
Annuals, lots of petunias, super bells. So that's the idea. You're talking, you know, in this area here, it'll be as much or more than this greenhouse that gives us the space.
Yep.
So we'll make sure that we have a dry row up here on the hillside, and that way that'll get us all the way around it. But kind of where the excavator is right now, that's all gonna be filled in, taking off that high pot spot.
Yep.
I don't know how far we're gonna go back on the shrub lot. You know, we'll see. But the more level we can get it, the better. And then if we have extra soil, we'll take it somewhere else.
We always need soil. All right, let's go look at the catch basin and the pipe.
Yep.
So this is a great, nice, big catch basin.
Yeah, all this water works its way out of here, down through here. Of course, we had drains over there.
Right, off the greenhouse.
Yep.
So for whatever reason, it's just the lay of the land. I mean, it is what it is. Whenever we get rain, and then of course, the more rain you get, the heavier rain you get, the more water that comes through here. But I mean, we are creekside for a reason, because the creek is the lowest spot and all the water runs to it, right?
So let me,
and so there's the, I'm not gonna cross the, Jerry's got longer legs than I do.
So I dug this out this morning. This is somewhat the grade here from where the water runs out.
Okay.
So it comes with all these different setups for different size pipes and everything.
That's cool.
So I just gotta double check all that. Jackson was messing with it this morning. And then it's really large. It's like a 24 by 24. So when it gets in here, it's gonna sit below the grade up here. I don't know if it's easy to see on camera.
Yeah, I got it.
Right there. And then this pipe, as it sits, 8-inch, it's gonna go right into the side of it right here.
Yep.
And out she goes.
Out she goes.
So.
And we've got 400 feet of that pipe.
Yes.
To connect. I mean,
hopefully we'll have enough. I don't know that we'll.
They're what, 20-foot sections?
Make it all the way to where I want to go, but yeah, 20-foot sections.
So 20, it's not one pipe that's 400 feet, it's 20-foot sections. So then, okay, come back over here for a second on the drain pipe, on the catch basin. So will this, you'll like put gravel on it, or you try to leave it exposed?
Right behind you is the riprap.
Okay, so on top of this, you'll put the riprap?
All this will get filled with riprap.
Okay.
This side here
uh-huh.
will be a mound of dirt.
And then does the riprap go on top of the grate?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yep.
Very good.
So yeah, we'll have to, of course, dig out here, but where you're standing is a mound that will stay.
Yes.
And then we'll carry the mound high all the way across.
Uh-huh.
To create this dam right here, so it forces the water.
It's forcing the water in
and
here.
Hopefully this will be enough to run it out. If that's why on down through here, if it does come out and over, if it works its way to kind of down where the bobcat is, then we have this pipe with the holes in it and drain. And so anything that were to catch down in that hole, it will just eventually drain itself through the pipe.
Gotcha.
Because I was wanting to extend that around the greenhouse with gravel coming up through here,
yes.
like a little road.
Yeah.
So
yeah.
That's the plan.
That's the
so
plan.
We'll probably get that done next week.
Yeah. So it's been nice that we, you know, the no rain is a blessing and a curse. The garden could definitely use some water. The plants could use some water, but it's great for construction. It's great for the mountains rebuilding, and so. Yeah,
it's just really like that. Like, yeah, my folks at Site One, I have to give, you know, kudos to, because they were real quick to respond and got the pipe out here, got all the supplies so we could just go at it when we wanted to.
Yep.
And we're knocking it out. But, you know, we can take our time with it, really make sure, not get in a real big hurry, because we have no rain all of the rest of this week and next week. There is no sign of rain whatsoever. So,
yep.
Yeah, I think it's going to be just fine. So.
All right.
Yep.
So is that it?
I think so.
I think so. All right, my friends. Thanks for staying tuned. I didn't mean to forget my husband. We walked in to have lunch, and he was like, "Are we going to go up and film?" And I was like, "Oh, whoops. Yes, we are." So anyway, that is the project update for up here. As you know, at Creekside, there's always something going on. There's always projects happening. If you're not growing, you're dying. That's what Jerry says.
Yeah. I mean, we're hopefully starting to kind of wrap up the majority of this space back here as far as construction goes.
Yes.
And we do have some plans up here.
Right. And we also came up with a list, I don't know, a month ago, of like all the projects to that need to be buttoned up. And I have it on his word that no new projects until all the current projects are buttoned up, because Sweet Thing is infamous for suddenly saying, "Oh, well, let's do this."
Yeah, even my guy that helps us with our grass and lawn, Chandler, because we had this ordered and all this stuff ready to go. He says, "Jerry, I thought you got projects on the list. You got to be done." I said, "Well, this is on the list. I made sure it was on the list."
So anyway, all right, stay tuned. I'm going to show you some pictures of the chicken coop tonight at dusk, so you can see how it all looks at night. But anyway, y'all have an amazing day. We'll see you next time. Bye, friends.